I'm a Milwaukee Brewer. Baseball in this city is important to me. I feel a responsibility for it.
Being connected to the Twins organization as a player and now having an opportunity to manage, it's pretty special for me.
Well, guys, let's get started at the very beginning. Craig, you're a little kid growing up in Milwaukee. Your dad worked for the Brewers and all that. You had the luxury, I guess, of having access to a major league field and major league players. Do you remember your first encounter with Paul?
Probably what I remember most is like playing golf with Paul, like on an off day or something, and I was a little 10-year-old kid pouting my way around the course, getting mad because I couldn't hit any good shots. But he was gracious enough to let me play with him and my father, and so it was probably off the field where we probably had more encounters than at the stadium, really.
Ball is well hit to left. It's gone. And the streak continues.
The 30th anniversary of your long hitting streak, 39 games. Do you remember the pressure involved with that streak at all as it mounted past 30, past 35?
The hitting streak was just, you can't predict when they're going to happen. I was fortunate enough to run one out there that had fairly significant length. I remember that the Brewer hitting streak record was 24.
There it is. 25 straight for Paul Molitor. That's a new Brewer record.
It was a great summer in Milwaukee, I think, as the streak kind of marched on, this kind of great energy built up in the city.
39 in a row. How about that? That is something.
I was at the game the night the streak ended. Was a incredible baseball game, almost surreal, and it was a really fun summer, and he made it a really, really fun summer for all the fans.
In the bottom of the 11th inning, the Marlins have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Renteria digs in. Here it comes. High drive. It's over. Counsell comes in to score.
The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
You both experienced the thrill of winning a World Series. You got to achieve that twice. Do you reflect back on those great World Series moments? I mean, is that a daily memory for either one of you?
I think it obviously stands out above anything else I was able to do in the game. I was able to walk off the field at the end of a given season and be part of the championship team. I mean, that's what they're out there for. And thankfully, I at least got a chance to do it once, and hopefully there's more down the road, maybe in a different role.
It's still the ultimate for a player. There's no question about it. There's no better experience. Playing baseball in October it's hard to express how wonderful it is, but it's not the ring, it's the experience of it, and it's the memories from that month for sure.
Now, you grew up watching the Brewers, and they had some great players, including the guy sitting to your left. He always had a very quiet, simple approach in the batter's box. How then do you account for your approach in the batter's box?
Believe me, I look back on it and asked myself, what the heck was I thinking, and why didn't somebody stop me? But it worked out. It went fine, and I think people probably they have to remember you for something, and for me it was for a funny stance.
There's some wonderful irony here. You grew up in Milwaukee, now you're managing the Brewers, and you grew up in the Twin Cities, you're managing the Twins. It's a fun job, it's a demanding job, but the fact that you're managing the team you grew up following, does that make this special for you?
Well, I think Craig would agree. It's, I don't know if it ever was really on our radar. We both aspire to be players first and foremost, and thankfully we were able to fulfill that aspect of the dream. But I don't take for granted every day putting on the Twins uniform, And now, 3 years running, I have a chance to go out there and try to do what I can in the leadership role to try to help our team win.
I felt and still do feel this great responsibility for baseball in the city of Milwaukee. And it's a privilege and an honor for me to be one of the people that hopefully helps continue this great tradition that baseball has produced.
You each had your teams get off to better than expected starts. Brewers are still above 500. Paul, you hope to get back there and beyond. Were you surprised, Paul, at the way your team played in the first 3-4 months of the year?
I wouldn't say surprised. I think probably everybody in this particular seat envisions how your team can come together and hopefully do more than what the common opinion might be.
You know, I think we both know we're surprising the industry a little bit as far as how many games we're winning, but you know, you get to this spot and you create some belief and you create some confidence, and that's important. It's not easy to sustain that for 162 games. That's why the regular baseball season is really the ultimate test. There are no pretenders over 162 games. You can't fake it. You have to earn it. And we feel like we've put ourselves in a position, and as the Twins have over the last 50 games, to earn it. And that's a good feeling.